beautiful people. That was fun. We had a countdown. And although I've seen them before, that was a first for us. Did you guys enjoy it? Um, so I was enjoying it. I was doing a little jig, doing a little dance, and Todd was behind pretending to play the bass, and it was kind of fun. So, in the future, if you see those, I encourage you get up and know that I'm dancing, we're dancing, and you could boogie too. So I just want to say hello, Gina S. So good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Marilyn. Good to have you. Lisa, I'm so happy to have you. Oh, Gina S says, I can't wait to find out what else can be done with jicama. Hey, we've got a few things, things that you may have heard about and things that you might not have. And yeah, I'm excited that you're excited because jicama is a great thing. So anyways, I just wanted to, let you know that we, of course, are going to be talking about jicama. It's a very interesting vegetable. It's something that I really enjoy. And I just kind of want to ask you guys right off of the start here, how many of you know what jicama is, right? This? And have you tried it? So, after you're done saying hello, I'd love for you to put that in the chat. How many of you know what it is and have you tried it? So I am going to talk about what it is. And Lisa says, I've never had jicama. All right. Well, this is exciting. So yeah, we're going to talk about what it is. We're going to talk about where it comes from. How do you eat it? Can you cook it? How do you store it? And most importantly, why should you eat it? Right? And the best part, I'm going to show you a couple different ways to enjoy jicama. So, Gina S says, yes. Okay, so she has tried it before. That's great. And you knew what it was. So I personally wasn't raised on jicama. In fact, I never even heard of it as a kid or even as an adult, I think. But then once I tried it, I was really hooked. So hello, Colleen. Good to have you here. We had a little dance party at the beginning. So make sure if you can, if you want to maybe next time, join in the fun. Glad to have you all here. So we're talking about jicama, and I just want to start with what is jicama? Well, I have some jicama here. I'm going to talk to you about it. I just want you to see what it looks like, right? Jicama is a root vegetable. And I left this one, I left the sticker on in case you guys wanted me to talk about it. But yeah, it's a root vegetable that originally comes from Mexico and Central America. And it's part of the bean family, which surprised me because it looks more like a white potato or a turnip, right? But unlike the white potato, you can eat jicama raw. And in fact, that's one of the best ways that I like to enjoy it. And most people do enjoy it is raw, but it's not the only way. So that's exciting to know. And hello, Mona. Mona is here. I was just starting to talk about jicama. And for those of you coming on a few minutes late, if you want to watch the beginning of the replay, we had our first countdown and there was some music and we were dancing. So I'm excited about this. Mona says, this is going to be a hard sell for me. Okay, hey, and that's all right. But I'm glad you're here. And let me know if you change your mind at all. So can anyone tell me how many varieties of jicama are there, right? Tell me in the chat. I want to know what your thoughts are before I go into that. So while I'm waiting for you to do that, I'm just going to tell you that you might have heard jicama being called different names because it does get called different names. I mean, I call it jicama, but some people call it Mexican turnip. It's been known to be called a Mexican yam or bean, or even a Mexican potato, which makes sense. But no matter what you call it, this root vegetable is packed with nutrition, with crunch, and versatility. So in the grocery store, you'll usually see this kind right here, this brown, round jicama about the size of a grapefruit or even bigger. And these are organic. So I noticed that the organic ones in my area are a little bit smaller than the traditional ones. But I'm sure in other areas, maybe you can find them at different sizes. So its flesh is juicy and crunchy, and it's got a slightly sweet and nutty flavor. So some people think that it tastes like a cross between a potato and a pear. And I agree. I feel like it kind of tastes like a pear. Others compare it to water chestnut, right, to give you an idea. So I am going to see if anyone said anything about how many varieties there are of jicama. And we've got Marilyn says 10. Gina S says 2. Colleen says, I've only seen one with a question. And Marilyn says, does it have a mild taste? Yes, it has a mild taste. And we just went over that a little bit. And so, are you ready? Come on, Todd, drum roll. He's not ready. Yay. There are actually two different types of jicama that I'm aware of. And the first one that I'll share with you is called jicama de agua. So this is the one that you'll find in stores. It's this. It's round, a little squat, and it has this watery, crisp texture when you cut into it. It's the only one that I can find in my area. So there it is. I want to make sure everyone sees it. I really enjoy eating this. It's like once I figured it out. So the second one is called jicama de leche, right? So this one I don't have to show you, but you could certainly look it up. And it's a longer one. It's more tapered, and I understand when you cut into it, the juice is like a milky white instead of a clear, which we have here. So it's not commonly found outside of Mexico and Central America. And like I mentioned, I have never tried that one yet, right? Because I hope to travel somewhere and be able to try it at some point. So yeah, the name jicama comes from the Aztec word that I am going to let Todd say. Again. You should get a job with Google. And it's spelled really weird. Xicamatl, is it? Xicolatel. Okay, so the name comes from the Aztec word xicolatel, which I don't say it as great as you do, and it means watery root, right? And that's exactly what this is. This is a juicy, crunchy root that stays hydrating and refreshing. And so let me know if you're learning anything so far. I want to talk about the jicama nutrition, right? Why should we eat it? Why should you eat it? Why should I eat it? Well, why should you consider adding it to your diet? This little root here is low in calories. It's packed with fiber and nutrients. It's that making it an amazing addition to a whole food plant-based lifestyle, right? Most of jicama's calories, they come from carbohydrates. The rest are from very small amounts of proteins and a little bit of fat. Jicama contains many important vitamins and minerals, as well as significant amount of fiber. Fiber, people! The U.S. doesn't eat enough fiber. Get yourself some jicama. So I want to say, here's what you can get in like 1 cup of raw jicama, and that's approximately 130 grams. And this is, of course, this is not exact. This is it gives you an idea, right? So because you can even see, right? These are the size that they had in my area. They're pretty much the same. This one's a little bit a little bit smaller, but at any rate, oh, I know what I forgot to bring out. The other one, I'll bring it out in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, in 1 cup of raw jicama, you're going to get approximately 49 calories, right? So it's super, super low. There's 12 grams of carbohydrates and 6 grams of fiber. That's 6 grams of fiber is about 24% of your daily needs, right? Fiber also helps with ba-boom, 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 heart health. Fiber is so important for our heart health. 1 gram of protein. So it's not a lot of protein, but hey, every bit counts. If you're interested in knowing about protein and how much you get, it would count. You'd get something. There's no fat in this. So, completely fat free if you're watching your fat intake, or maybe you already had your, small little bit of walnuts or avocado. This is not anything to worry about in that department. Vitamin C. Vitamin C, 1 cup has about 30 to 40% of your daily vitamin C needs. So what does that tell you? It's great for the immune system. Yay! It's got potassium. It's about 6% of the RDA recommended daily allowance, and it helps with your muscle function and hydration. Potassium does, and I know about that because I have had problems with potassium in the past. So that's a really good one for me to know about. It's got magnesium, approximately 4% of the RDA. And what does that do? Well, that supports your bones and your heart health. There's folate, 4% of the RDA, iron, 4% of the RDA, manganese, which is not magnesium, it's a different one. And that one also, it's about 4% of the RDA in this guy, 1 cup. So I'm going to talk in a minute. I just want to check the chat. Oh, Colleen says, absolutely learning. Yay! Ooh, ooh, give plants a chance, Colleen says. Yes! I love it. Lisa, do you eat it raw or cooked? Well, I have eaten it raw, and we're gonna play around with some stuff today, and so then hopefully by the end I can change that answer. We will certainly find out. So prebiotic fiber. Inulin, is that right? So I have to practice some of these words before we get on. Prebiotic fiber, inulin is what it's called. Okay, so that feeds your good gut bacteria, and that helps with digestion. It boosts your immunity, which we already mentioned, and it even supports brain health. And just for those of you who may not already know, prebiotics are a type of fiber. And that fiber feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. So that helps them grow and thrive and make little happy bacterias, right? So unlike probiotics, which those are like live bacteria, prebiotics are the fuel that keeps your gut microbiome healthy. Whew. Jicama is also amazing because it's high in antioxidants, which helps prevent cell damage. And it can help reduce the risk of cancer. It can help with weight loss. And let's not forget, because jicama is mostly water, it's hydrating and it's refreshing, which makes it an amazing snack, especially on a warm weather, because it'll cool you. But because it's high in water, jicama may is what I was going to try to say, help ease constipation by helping you meet your daily fluid needs, right? So yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. So I do want to also talk about, who should everyone eat jicama? Does anyone want to answer that? Do you think everyone should eat jicama? Put your answer in the chat. And I am going to tell you, for most people, jicama is completely safe and it's super healthy. But there is one important thing to know. You should never, ever eat the skin. The skin, don't eat it. The leaves or the stems or the seeds of a jicama plant. Does anyone know why? Hey, Chef Val is in the house. Hello. Oh, she said, I love jicama. And it's so weird the way that they spell it compared to how you pronounce it. Yeah, and you know what? I've heard it pronounced a different way. But here in the US, in Arizona, in my house, that's how I pronounce it. But I think there's another way to pronounce it, and I've heard it, but I don't know how to articulate that. So did anyone know that? Why, right? Why? Because you don't want to eat the skin and the leaves and the stems and seeds, because Colleen says toxic, toxic. Yeah, because they contain a natural compound that is toxic, and it's called rotenone. Rotenone. Tongue twisters today. Yeah. And isn't that weird? So here we can eat this as long as we don't eat those components of it, which is really odd, I think. Rotenone is a naturally occurring plant toxin found in certain roots, seeds, and stems of plants in the bean family, including the jicama vine. So it has been traditionally used as a natural pesticide, but has been banned in several countries, including the US, European Union, Canada, and the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. So for humans, consuming large amounts of rotenone could be harmful. So studies suggest that some of the things that it could do is affect your cellular function, because it interferes with the mitochondria. That's the part of our cell that produces the energy. It can cause neurotoxicity, right? Some research has linked long-term exposure to rotenone with Parkinson's like symptoms, which I thought was really interesting. And it's toxic to fish and insects. So that's why it's been historically used as a pesticide. So who should be worried about it? Not if you eat jicama the right way, you shouldn't worry about it. The good news is that the rotenone is not found in the edible part of the root, right? So we've already said it's found in the skin, in the seeds, in the leaves, and the vines. Now, this doesn't have seeds in it, but obviously there are seeds. So as long as you peel the skin completely and only eat the white flesh that's inside, jicama is 100% safe and it's healthy to enjoy. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, though, and we're gonna cut this open. I'm going to show you how to do that. But you do want to wash it. So before we get into doing that, I do want to talk about how you can eat it. Eating jicama raw is the easiest and most popular way, which I had mentioned already. You peel it and you slice it, and then you're ready to go. And I just want to talk about, briefly a little bit also about how to pick a good jicama. So you want to choose one that's really firm. This one is really firm, that it feels heavy for its size, right? If you pick up one and it feels light for what you think its size should be, that you want to stay away from that, because it's full of the juicy, watery liquid that like a water, and so that's heavy. And it should be smooth and unblemished skin. Okay, but what does that mean? Now, there's some little blemishes here. That's not what I'm talking about. Those are okay. But you want to avoid jicama that's wrinkly or shrivelly. If it has some soft spots on it, or if you see mold, get it out. I also think that if it is light, even if everything else looks good, and that might mean that it's dry inside. So the smaller jicama, around the size of a grapefruit or smaller, like these, are often more tender and sweeter than the larger ones. Has anyone noticed that before? So let's talk about, how do you prepare a jicama and how can you eat one? And like I said earlier, the most common way, of course, is to eat it raw. So I want to ask a question to you guys. Has anyone ever cooked jicama? I know we had a question about if I eat cooked jicama, but have you ever cooked it? And if you have, what did you do with it? So while I wait for you guys to share that, I am going to show you how I peel and cut the jicama. And I'm also going to grab another one that I have in the refrigerator. So give me just a minute to grab that because I forgot to take it out, but here it is. Because you can buy it already cut up. So I want to show that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to wash this. So, and I don't know. I heard that if you wash these ahead of time, that it's not as good of an idea because it can cause it to mold or go bad quicker. I don't know. That's not my experience. I usually get it, wash it, peel it, and it's ready to go. So I'm just going to rinse the board off too because I had that there. And any comments in the chat you can share, Todd, while I rinse this guy off?
Colleen says, I think I've seen Chef AJ cut it into strips or purchased it in strips and made French fries.
Ah, very cool. Very cool. Okay. So I just rinse this off really well. And I'm even drying it with a towel. Anybody else share what they have?
Chef Al says it's hard to find whole jicama here in Michigan. I get it already cut up.
Okay, so that's all right. Yeah, because that makes sense, right? Because of where it comes from. Michigan is quite far from Mexico and Central America, where it usually is grown and is found. Okay, so I want to show you, I washed this one, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each side, okay? You can use a paring knife. Whoa, don't throw it. This is not a magic show. You can use a paring knife. Or, I tend to use this knife a lot, but whatever works for you. So you just want to gently cut that part off. I like to cut it off on both sides. Okay. And so then you could do a couple of things. You can take your knife, whatever knife, and you can kind of cut it down, right? So that you're kind of just peeling it. I haven't tried a potato peeler. We could, but sometimes you can just get some of the skin kind of, let me just make sure you can see this, and you can just peel it. You can peel it off. So some people, like to start it. They cut a little bit of it, and then they go ahead and peel it off. There's no right or wrong way. I tend to peel it. Just cut it. I peeled a little bit. Now, another way you could do it, and then I just like to peel the whole thing, right? So I have it still in this shape. Another way you could do it is you could wash it, cut it into the smaller pieces, right? Like an apple wedge or something, and then take those individual pieces and you can cut them individually. So I think whichever way you want to do it works. And so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this guy all the way because we're going to use him for something, right? And once you get it cut, you could do a lot of different things with it. And when I say get it cut, I mean peeled, once you get it peeled. Now, I save a lot. I'm not going to be saving this peel and adding it to my vegetable broth, so don't do that. Just dispose of it. And I'm not sure if there is any other use for it, knowing that it's toxic. I would say no, just pass, right? So any other comments?
Chef Al was marveling at your knife throwing skills.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, good.
She also mentions that she usually eats it raw. It's so naturally sweet. She's boiled it and has used it in a brown rice stir fry. So
ooh, I like that idea. See, look, and I can just peel it. That's a really cool idea. Yeah, that's another thing. We could just, help each other by sharing what we've done with it, and or maybe you haven't done anything with it, but you've heard of something to do with it. And so that's always fun to share that. And then you can find out if somebody, hey, have you tried that or whatever. It's always fun. It just doesn't, this one doesn't seem to be peeling as easily. Some of them do kind of just peel right off, and that's fine. This one, is almost done here. Look at that. I just like the bigger knife, but some people like the paring knife. And I did say we were going to try to do a potato peeler. I'm curious. Let's just try that just because we can, just to see, right? Yeah, it peels. Okay. Wow. It peeled right off. So that's another way to do it. Okay. And so anything. Okay. Oh, okay.
We're still having fun with the knife throwing.
Okay. So just to recap, we cut off both ends so you have a flat surface, and then we used the paring knife or the vegetable peeler or whatever, and we removed the brown skin. And now you can cut it into sticks, you can cut it into cubes, you could cut it into rounds. There's something that I do want to talk about is that some people can even use a mandolin and cut and get very thin circles, and then you can use it as like those little street tacos. You can use it in place of like a corn tortilla or any type of tortilla. So there's, be creative, right? Whatever works for your recipe. And this is what I brought out. So this is from our local Trader Joe's. And these are jicama sticks. It's already ready to go. I only have half in here because I took half and I'm doing something with it with you guys. But these just come like in a little, kind of fell apart. But, it comes like this. They're already pre-cut. And there you go. So the skin is off and everything. It's really convenient. If you have a choice, right, and you're going to use it right away, go for it. If you're not going to use it right away, I found that it goes bad faster than if I have it here. So just keep that in mind if you decide to do that. And there's different things that you can do with it. So we talked about how to pick one in the store, basically because you just want to make sure that it doesn't have any of those soft spots or the mold or anything, and make sure that it's heavy. You want to try jicama sticks. You could even do that, right? You can get some of these, put them on a plate, and arrange it. I didn't do that. I didn't prepare this, but I'll just tell you. And you can put a squeeze of lime on a plate, not my hand, and a little bit of chili powder. And that's actually a classic Mexican preparation for jicama. So, but of course, chili powder is going to give it a little kick. So make sure that that's something that you enjoy. But it's a very mild flavor on its own. And so it's just a very nice mixture. And you can add it to salads. Look, I made this beautiful salad. Here we go. And I left out what? The jicama, because I had it here. And so you can toss these big sticks on there, or we can cut them up even more, just anyway, bite-sized pieces, so you can have them like this, right there in the salad, which is great. You can even add it to slaws, like for a crunchy, slightly sweet bite. I actually saw jicama slaw. It was being sold at our Trader Joe's. We saw it, when was it? Yesterday, I think, when we were looking for jicama. We wanted to make sure to have fresh for you guys. But I didn't purchase it because it had ingredients that I didn't want. There were like oils and different things in other components of it. But I thought, oh, that's so cool. So you can certainly make your own. Other things you can do with it is you can combine it with mango and pineapple or papaya. And then there you go, bam, a tropical fruit salad, right? And you can slice them in rounds, or, make them chunky, whatever, so that it all matches, and toss it. You can even do a squeeze of the lime on top of that and decide if you want it spicy or not. So you can cut it into thick slices, and you can serve it like a dip, or, like a in a dip, I should say, guacamole or hummus, right? And then, like I talked about, you can do it as a tortilla replacement, or you could even do it like a wrap, but they would be little, they're little. So another thing is add it to a veggie platter. We never see this on a veggie platter, standard veggie platter, right? It's got celery, carrots, tomato, sometimes broccoli. Throw in some jicama. That's what I say. So one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is another thing that you could do with it. Any ideas? Any ideas? I have my machine out. Let me see if anyone has any ideas. Let me throw this out because it's toxic. And
Chef Val has an interesting thought.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What jicama nice cream would taste like.
Ooh, well, that is a really great idea. And I would say let's do it right now, but we'll never know because it takes 24 hours to freeze it. But maybe I will try that and let you know. If anybody else tries it or has tried it, please let us know. So yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, juice it. That's what I'm seeing in the chat. Juice it. Renee is in the house. Hi, Renee. I love it because it's so crunchy and it takes place of croutons. Ah, yes. You could definitely call that a crouton. So I am going to juice. I made 2 recipes here to juice. And whoops, I've got to get this guy here so that I can tell you what I'm doing. Let's see. So the first juice that I'm going to do is my recipe for a citrus glow juice, right? And I'm going to go ahead and take the medium size jicama. I'm actually going to cut this up a little bit more. You want it raw for this. You want it peeled, right? And I'm just cutting it into chunks because I'm putting it in the juicer. So, you know, whatever you think is right. But look this is one way to cut it up. So you've got these nice little, these nice little guys here. And just to show, if you did want to make your own sticks, right, you can do slices like that. And then, of course, you can just go down like that. And there you have the sticks similar to what we saw that Trader Joe's carries. So whatever works for you, right? So I'm just going to chop this up a little bit more. I've got everything else ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this open. And I'm going to go ahead and also add, you can use romaine leaves, something crunchy and light. I actually have, this is like the green leaf lettuce, which is a little more delicate. I wanted romaine, but I already had this. So I'm just going to go ahead and use what I have. And it is a small entire head. So go ahead and try that. And then I've got some pink grapefruit. And I'm going to go ahead and pour that in there. In my juicer, I like to put the greens on the bottom and the heavier stuff, or the lighter stuff on the bottom and the heavier stuff on top. So it helps push it down. Okay. And then, the jicama. And I'm going to put the whole thing in there. We are probably going to turn this on. Hopefully it won't be loud. I've done this before and it wasn't loud. And let's turn it on. Yeah, yay. Okay, so we've got that going. And I am excited to try this with you guys, because I think it will be very interesting. And then when that one's done, I'm going to go ahead and do one more juice, right? So when I get to that one, we'll talk about the ingredients for the next one. So I know we haven't really talked about can you cook jicama, right? While this is going, I'm gonna whoops, I better just double check this. Oh yeah, it's already going. Whoa, look at that. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, it seems to be all right. Okay, I'm trying to multitask. I'm not always that great at it, but I try. All right, so let's do that. Yeah, okay, so going back to cooking it. I haven't ever done it before, but we're going to do it today together right here. When eating it like a taco, which I did before, I ate it raw. And at the time, I purchased these slices that were like tortillas from Trader Joe's. And I had that a few years ago. But yesterday, when I was at Trader Joe's, I learned that they discontinued those like a handful of years ago. So I don't have those to show you. But however, we did talk about how you can slice them yourself with a mandolin and try to make that. So just to give you some other ideas before we make what we're going to make is, which was mentioned, I think, by Chef Val, was it? The stir fries? Who mentioned that? Okay, go back. Yeah, I want to just give credit where credit's due. And so the stir fries, right? You can add to the stir fries instead of water, chestnuts. Instead of water, chestnuts, you can add this in the stir fry, and then that'll give you an extra crunch. You can put it in soups and stews. Jicama tends to hold its crunch, so it's not going to get mushy on you. And then jicama fries. Slice them into matchbox sticks. I used the ones here from Trader Joe's. I went ahead and boiled some water. And once the water was boiled, I went ahead and put it in here, which this is just the leftover water, and I boiled it for 10 minutes, okay? And then I strained it. I think I better stop this for a minute. I strained it out, and then I have it right here. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna make jicama fries together. So what you could do is we're gonna air fry it at 400 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes. It really depends on the size that you have. But if you don't have an air fryer, it's okay. Just bake it at 400 degrees until it looks like it's cooked maybe like 10 minutes. Although that doesn't seem right. Oh, yeah, maybe longer than that. You boil it for 10 minutes and then you cook it in the air fryer for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. If you're going to put it in the oven, bake it at 400 degrees and do it for about maybe 15 minutes. I would just check it because you don't know how your oven is working. Now, one thing is, look at this. I want to show you. Here's a piece of jicama that's raw. And here's one that's been boiled. Now, I hope you can tell that the one that's been boiled is kind of translucent. And I don't know if you can tell the difference in the color, but there is in person, there is a difference in color. And that's how you know that it's ready. Also, you can take a fork and kind of poke it, and it should, poke like a potato, a cooked potato. So you want to just let it do that. The reason for doing that ahead of time first is that it's going to help give it a creamier, more like a French fry texture. Otherwise, it might be a little bit more firm than what you're looking for. So let's go ahead and do this. Ready? I love that. I love that. And there you go. I like to save the pulp. There's the pulp. That would be, I've never made anything with the jicama, but we're going to try this. I'm just going to dump this out really good. And normally I would like to wash this or just rinse it ahead of time because I don't like to mix the flavors, right? Because especially when you have grapefruit and stuff. But for time's sake, we're just going to go ahead and do the next one. I know I'm kind of multitasking here. You don't have to strain this. It's habit. I tend to strain it. So I don't know. I'm just going to strain it. I'm kind of interested if there's any pulp. Look at this. Look at the color. Isn't that pretty? What do you think? And what I like to do when I do this is take some kind of chopstick or something and I just kind of do this. Da, 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 da. Okay. Anybody tried this? Anybody tried any other kind? And we've got one more juice recipe we are going to try. And do you want me to pour you one in a separate cup, Todd? You want to share mine together?
I will take a sip of yours.
You'll take it. Okay. Let me just finish just at least filling this one up. Yay. Okay. Now, before we do that, before we do that, let me finish talking about the air fry thing, get it going, and then, because it's going to take a little bit, and then we can continue talking and tasting and putting that guy in there and all this fun stuff, okay? So here it is, right? Here it is. This is what I boiled. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put this aside just for a minute. I want to take some seasonings and I want to season this up. You don't have to do that. I've got some seasonings here that I put aside, and I just want to show you what I have here. You can use anything you want. You like spice? Go ahead and do the chili powder. I'm not going to do the chili powder, but you can do cayenne. You can do cumin. You can do garlic powder, onion powder. So what I have here is I have the garlic powder, the onion powder, black pepper, and I do have a little bit of cayenne. If you don't like the spice at all, go ahead and sub it out for something else. But I'm just gonna pour this on here. Now I don't use oil, right? So it's been sitting here. I probably would want to take it right out of here so that it's just a tiny bit wet. And that is my version of, having it stick, is just by using a little bit of the water. And then, I'm using this fork, but in a bigger bowl, maybe you'll do a bigger amount. This is just a sample size. And you'll just want to coat it really well with whatever seasoning you have here. I love garlic. So I already smell the garlic. I'm going to add a little bit more black pepper, and then that's it. You're ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the air fryer, and we are going to see how that works. So look, everybody, can you see it's nicely coated? Looks good. Okay, so I've got the air fryer here. I usually like to line it with parchment paper, but I don't have any parchment paper, so it's just more cleanup for me. And what I want to do is I want to put them in here, and I'm going to show you in a minute. I don't want them to be touching each other. I want them to have a little bit of space so that they can really get the air fry all around them. Now, if you're not using an air fryer and you're using a regular oven, that's okay. You can still go ahead and not have them touching the best that you can. I mean, if it touches, it's not going to kill anybody, but it's just that it want to have the fry texture all the way around, right? And we can check it halfway, and then we can also turn it or shake it. People do different things with the air fryer. Any questions going on, Todd?
Nope, Bernadette's here.
Yay! Hi, Bernadette. So glad to have you. We're just having fun making some interesting new foods. New for me.
And it was Chef Val who mentioned the stir fry.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. And so here we go. There, I'm trying not to spill it, but that is, can you see that okay?
Yep.
That is all ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. And I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to put air fry. I'm going to turn the temperature up to 400 degrees. I had it at 390 as a default. And I am going to put it in for 10 minutes, but we're going to check it halfway, right, Todd?
Yes.
Okay, so I have that starting. And then while that's going, I just want to take a peek in here. Oh, so there's still a little bit of lettuce in here. I'm going to go ahead and let it do that thing. Let's add the next recipe worth of juice. And so that one is called, it's a jicama green juice, right? Because I want my greens in here. But if you have a child or someone that's not used to greens, I'll tell you what an easier, simple way to start is, right? You start with the jicama. Well, I'm going to not start with the jicama, but you would put jicama pears. I have 2 pears, a medium jicama, some lemon without the skin, just peeled, and some ginger. If the ginger is too much, you can back off even in that, and cucumber. So I'm going to add, in addition to that, green Okay. Are we on? Hey, I think we lost service, you guys. Anybody still here with us? We are back. I'm so sorry that happened. Darn it, our internet provider dropped us. But I just kind of paused. And so if anyone wants to tell me in the chat, maybe one of the last things you heard, I can go back and talk about it. But I think I was in the middle of doing a juice, which I stopped. And I am just turning these jicama fries. I'll show you. They still have plenty to go here. And I think I'm just going to, okay, you know what? Life happens. It's all right. We're back together. I appreciate you guys being here. And yay, I'm saying you're back. Yes, I don't know what happened. But so what I was starting to say is I was talking about this recipe for a green juice. And if you have somebody in your family that doesn't like the green, you could take the green part out and do the other components. And so what I've put in here so far are the greens, and you can use any greens you want. I have spinach and kale. You can use any greens that you like. Some people don't like those because of the high oxalate. Some people's machines, they don't get enough juice from the kale, but whatever works for you. I like to put it in the bottom first. And then I also went ahead and put the jicama. I already cut it and it's ready to go in here. I also have, which you could just make it with just these things. I've got a piece of ginger, and you don't have to peel it, although I did. And I've got lemon. I've got like a whole lemon. You could use half a lemon if it's too much citrus, cucumber, and 2 pears, any pears of your choice. And so I'm going to go ahead and load this a little bit more and get it going. So let's start it. Oh, wait. Just fooling. Okay, let me move this into a different glass because we need this part, of course, right? There we go. And I didn't strain that little bit, but maybe we can taste it strained and unstrained. Okay, now we go. There we go. And we didn't taste anything yet, right? So, oh, yay. Chef Val said she refreshed and it's back. Cora Scorpy said back in action. Colleen, yes. Todd is feeling better. Renee, back. You're back. Lisa says yes. And I apologize for that happening, but I'm glad you guys hung out and knew to just refresh. And that's just what happens, right? So this only has a couple minutes left on it. I'm just going to check it. And it looks like it could go for maybe an extra minute. So far I've added 2 minutes to it. So it just depends on your machine. Just play with it. Mona's given us the thumbs up. Yay. So I'm going to go ahead and open this back up and continue adding our stuff here. Our pears, our cucumbers. Hey, and you could even make it even more simplified. You could just do pear, a little bit of lemon, whoops, and got some jumpers here, and the jicama, and call it a day. But I like to get the greens in it, and I love ginger, so I want that in there. And there we go. So then that, I'm just going to move this stuff out of the way. We're going to get a drink cup ready. We've got our salad with our jicama pieces in it. We've got our juices, and we're about to try something cooked. So while we're waiting for these last few things, I want to talk about when you're not eating it, right? Storing your jicama is super easy. So if you have the whole jicama, all you have to do is keep it in a cool, dry, dark place, and it'll last 2 to 3 weeks. If you can put it in the refrigerator, I understand that can help it last a little bit longer. Frozen jicama, I personally have never done, but I understand that you'd want to peel and cut it and then store it like chopped, ready to go, you know, kind of like how you can buy it this way or how we did it. You don't want to have to peel it when it's frozen. And then I guess it can be stored in a freezer safe bag. We heard or read up to 9 months, which is crazy. I'm going to go ahead. Woo, look at that green Green drink. Yay, I love a green drink. And then the cut jicama. So if you already have it cut like this or you bought it, you just want to store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator. It should last about a week. So if you want to make it last even longer, I haven't tried this, but I've heard, store it in water, kind of like tofu, right? And then they're supposed to change out the water daily. I have never done that because we eat it too fast, but it's worth trying. And so I do want to also tell you a few a few jicama fun facts. I'm like on vacation in my head, thinking about, which it's not there. Yeah, we're going to talk about a few fun facts. So let me just do this. Maybe we'll hold off on the fun facts for a minute and just check this because it's got 13 seconds left on it. And this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Look, you know, it could go a few, what do you think? Maybe 2 more minutes? What do you think? So now I'm okay if it touches a little bit, but I think I'll do it. I'll let it go 2 more minutes. So that was 11, 12. So for me, I guess I'm going to do 15 minutes here. And I'm just going to put this temperature back up, and the time I'm going to do like 2 more minutes. Okay. Now, we are going to taste this together. And so let me just strain this for a minute. Todd has a meeting to go to, so I think he's going to have to come and taste this faster than I was ready for him to, but that's okay. Come on in here, honey. Come on. I don't know if you're going to be able to be here for the taste test, but everybody would like you to.
I might miss the fries, but we'll see how that goes. Hi, everyone.
Thanks for hanging in with us, right?
No worries.
You were just
panic. You went down.
But I thought you handled it well.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, from the outside.
Maybe on the outside.
From the outside, yeah. So this is the green one.
Okay.
They both have jicama. We'll share them together.
Yep.
And just for time, I will just finish doing this in a little bit.
All right.
And then I would like us to both try them. So here we go. And this one, see, it's already separating. So let me go ahead and just give it a little whirl, a little spin. So let's try this one first.
Okay.
You go and then I'll go.
You go and then I'll go. Okay.
And I want to talk about the flavors and share with everyone. What do you think?
Go ahead.
I love this.
So this one's got grapefruit, right?
Yes,
okay,
but
so
it
definitely has a grapefruit tartness to it.
Yeah, but it's got a milky jicama that's not milky feel to.
It's super like.
You want to try again?
Hydrating.
It's really nice. I think the jicama balances out the grapefruit.
Yep.
So the grapefruit is it's like a very mild version of grapefruit.
Yeah.
So winner.
Yes.
I say so, you guys. We got to have you try this. Okay,
Winner.
I'll try one more.
Jicama dinner.
Mm-hmm. Yum. Wow. Okay. And that's cooling down.
Okay.
So you're going to be here still, I hope. You got
30 seconds.
Okay. So go ahead and try this one. This is the green one. Different.
It is different. I like this one a lot.
Oh, okay. Here I go. Oh.
That's good.
They're both really good. So what is it about that one that you like, if you were going to explain those flavors? This is so fun.
This one's is more savory, I think. So
Really?
I get the ginger and the greens in there. And that one is a little milder in terms of, flavor. This one's got a little bit bolder of a flavor.
Oh, I feel like it's the opposite.
No way.
Okay.
All right. So on that note, I'm going to a meeting.
Oh, wait. Can you taste one on your way out? One on your way out.
8 seconds.
Okay. Just pick one.
This one that I'm burning myself with?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to pour these out. I don't even know if it's ready. Well, it's hot. It's hot. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Also very good. Wow, these are amazing.
Are they? Okay, so
right.
Bye, honey. And I am going to be checking the chat here. What kind of air fryer is that? Mona says. Oh, wait, I got to go back here. Do I have a way to do that?
You do.
Okay, let me just dump this in here. I'm going to go back and read the chat and make sure that I answer people's questions. This is just a sample, right, to see if we like it. And of course, I would say serve this with your favorite dipping sauce. It could be a ketchup. I have a homemade barbecue sauce that I like, whatever. But just to do it, I want to taste this. Interesting. It does not taste like potato to me. And I think I would cook it even a little bit more than I did. But it's good. It's got a sweetness to it. It's really delicious. And if I dipped it in something, that might be fun too. Even hummus or guacamole or whatever. So let me just look at the chat here. Jicama fries, can't wait, yum. Chef Val says, yes. Bernadette, hello. Love seeing Chef Val being so supportive of her friends in the vegan bundle. What a positive community. Yes, yes. Chef Valerie Wilson is amazing, and I'm so grateful that she's here. And people could probably ask her questions or check out her channel as well. Renee says, sure, yes. Versus I'm going to try them. Okay. Mona says, what kind of air fryer is that? That's right. This is a Ninja. It was actually my daughter's, and she left it here for a while, and she said, I'm not going to use it. You use it. Well, I tried to give it back to her, and she said, you know, Mom, it's too big. It takes up too much space. I want this other one. So she got herself another one, and she said, I could keep this one. So let me unplug it and show it to you a little closer. But it's a Ninja. Let me see if it's too hot. And it's a two drawer. And so you can cook them separately in the different drawers, or you can, it's called match cook, where you can see, so it's a Ninja. And I'll see if we can find a link for this exact one. And after he's done with his meeting, we'll put it in the show notes. But so you can cook one side, or you can cook both sides at the same time, or you can cook both sides at the same time and have different temperatures and different times. It's pretty nice. So I like that. And then Core Scorpy says, it looks like a Ninja maybe. Yes, you're right. The air fryer. Yes. And let me see. Aha, look at that. I can do it. Okay. Chef Val says, thanks, Bernadette. I found a vegan friend in Jennifer. Yes, yes, yes. Sending love to everyone. Enjoy your meeting, Todd. Catch you next week, says Core Scorpy. Yes, you will. Everyone, oh, Chef Val, you're so sweet. Everyone, make sure to hit the thumbs up like button for the video. It does help the algorithms, and I appreciate everybody being here. So, just basically a couple fun facts, and then we'll wrap it up here. Jicama absorbs flavors really well. So it's actually really good for using it when you want to use a marinade, right? And it's sometimes used in place of a low carb potato. I love potatoes, but if you're, care about that, you can, or you can mix it together, and you can use it to substitute in recipes for anything that uses potato. So that's what I know about jicama, and I wanted to share that with you. I hope this was helpful and inspires you to eat more jicama, or at least look into it and give it a try. If you can find it in your area, right? I know some, I think it was Chef Val said on the East Coast or Midwest, you can't find it like this, but she can find it cut up. And so however you can, or if you ever see it, give it a chance. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Don't forget to eat your greens and give plants a chance. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time. And I am going to have to figure out how to end the stream here. So take care, everyone. And again, thank you. Thank you so much. Try it. Let me know what you think.